We could share dreams that we've had where we feel like we've learned something new, where we've woken up and we've thought, wow, I've been totally schooled in something, either by a dream character or a teacher, or just like a download, anything that feels like you've learned something, and your life is a little bit more enriched from it, or you've received knowledge. So we can all kind of share a dream where that would apply. We can talk about the tradition of different lineages of dream schooling, so lineages like the Castaneda lineage, like the shamanic lineage, or the Vedic lineages, modern teachers. We could just talk about teachers in general and over the span of history. We could mention our kind of our favorite teachers if we want, like, so we can name drop a bit. Oh, there's two of me.
Double tree.
That is really weird. There's teacher tree, right? Teacher tree.
Well, it's the autumn equinox. It's about duality, right? It's about we've got half the sun and half the darkness happening. So maybe this double tree thing is working.
But we're also both teachers and students. So a lot of the time, this is where we guides, I guess, get guided.
Yeah.
Like
I like to say
there's a place where our knowledge gets nurtured, I guess, by other things, our spirituality, our teachers, I guess it's a good homage to not just to being to the student within, to studying and learning and growing.
Yeah, totally.
I always say if we identify too strongly as either teachers or students, we limit our ability to be either.
Yeah, and it's great to mention that, and we were talking about also how, as teachers or guides, we still learn.
I was just telling a student today how important, I always tell my students, like my massage students, like just how important it is to sleep. Not even just dream, but like the deep sleep stage.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Or for sleeping and reorganizing information, even just taking a nap after learning something can improve your memory of something. Well, this is a thing that I sculpted and then I put a mask on it, and I bought this thing.
Sculpted it?
Yeah, in a class. Which again, I was talking about dreams. I very much feel more. I make things that I maybe dream up.
Well, this is a really good topic then to bring into the episode of the of learning from dreams, is the topic of dream bridging.
Yeah.
And bridging content from the dreams into our waking reality. What Ale does through his creative practice or creative work.
Well, even last night, sorry, I can't remember, but I was working out in a dream. I was doing push-ups in a dream.
No way.
And I was in the shower, and I kind of forgot about the dream. I had a decent amount of dreams, but I forgot about that little detail, and I was like, oh wow, my biceps look bigger. And I was like, oh my God, I had a dream I was doing push-ups, and so I did more push-ups. And not like I don't work out a lot or anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, the dream bridging, that those things happen in the dream and your body learns how to do those better.
Working out, that's great.
Which also speaks to the dream being embodied in the dream.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
We still respond, our physical selves still respond, and speaking to the reality, the tangibility of the dream world.
Plus the symbology of a muscle growing and, working out, things working out, you working out. It's great. I think it's a good dream.
Cool. So that's another thing we can chat about is dream bridging. We can also all give examples of how we've bridged a dream over into waking the reality. We could also maybe even set a challenge for our listeners to encourage them to bridge their next few dreams. Maybe send us a they can post it on social media and then hashtag the Dream Freaks, and then we can see what they've been up to.
Yeah, I feel like we need to give them a little homework.
Yeah, and I think a really good way of doing that is like setting up a little task, an activity, like share a dream and how you bridged it into your waking reality. Post about it on Instagram or Facebook and hashtag the Dream Freaks, and that way we can find that we can find them, or they can tag us, or and that way we can see what they've done and shout out and repost their.
And it's a good way to get word out of the podcast.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I feel like our listeners love to share, from what I've
a lot of them already do.
So I feel like they will be happy to have a little task, I feel.
Yeah, so I'll put here a task activity. The dream bridging one sounds pretty good, right? Because we'll be talking about that, what you've learned in a dream and how you bridged it through into your waking reality.
The
Yeah.
only
and
thing
a lot of people
go ahead.
Well, they talk about like honoring the dream.
Right.
Of like for any dream, not just like a learning, but how can you make the dream know you're listening?
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's like taking the broader sense of like learning.
Mm-hmm.
Like it doesn't have to be, you know, like a lesson.
Your subconscious exists in both realms. So absorbing information is not just for it's not one-sided, and I feel like that's a great thing because we hold so much knowledge that we haven't tapped into. And to tap into that means that we're tapping into this big well, not just of the collective, but of our inner wisdom, which we can also tap into through meditation. You know, it's not just something the dream can provide, but dreaming is a way in which we get out of the way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Even like, like skill. I remember having dreams where I was like just acting more compassionate in places where I would have maybe been more aggressive, or have like immediately like scolded someone, or like myself really in dreams for being rude. Like, hey, you need to be nice. You need to be nice.
Yeah, I've had.
That's really good.
Where my like some asshole person is actually like a super soul full of light in my dream, and it makes me like remember the essence of people.
Yeah, so these are like what Carl Jung would describe as compensatory dreams. So it might be advantageous to talk a bit about Jung's theory of a compensatory dream, which is actually quite helpful for people to learn about, because a compensatory dream is a dream that is striving to balance out some aspect of ourselves in our waking reality. And we can think of a few examples of what a compensatory dream is. Usually a compensatory dream is when the behavior is so out of line with how we normally are in our real life. Like we're super aggressive in our dream or violent, and we're disturbed by that. But it's a call from our subconscious to pay attention to an aspect of ourselves in our waking reality that needs to change. So if we're really super aggressive in our dream because we've like killed everyone at work, and we wake up very disturbed, and we reflect a bit about how we are at work, and we're like, yeah, I get pushed around a lot, and I never really like speak my voice, then your dream is really calling you, to balance something out. Yeah, because you've got a lot of repressed rage and anger towards your workmates or whatever.
Totally.
And doing that in a healthy manner.
Yeah, and not showing up at work with machine gun and like blowing everyone away.
Oh god.
But basically to speak your truth and stand in your own personal power and worth. I'm just going to rewind a little bit back to the beginning of our podcast. It might be good to talk about like a little bit of history of like dream schools or mystery schools. So maybe we can research a little bit about if there is anything like that. I know there are mystery schools.
Yes, there are dream hypno dream schools.
Yeah, so if we can kind of like acknowledge those and like do like quite kind of quick acknowledgement of the evolution of the concept of a dream school.
Yeah, like the Tibetan dream yogas and
Yeah.
Castaneda does. He has like a whole like outline, like the different gates that you gotta go through.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. And how that all these different lineages apply. They're all their different concepts. Even like Robert Monroe with the out of body experiences, he talks about the different zones that you go into.
Like Andrew Holacek was kind of talking about, like the Tibetan dream yogas are like pretty advanced for normal people in our contemporary age to practice, and that like the Western dreaming practices have really built like a ramp to get to this state that people who don't spend hours and hours a day meditating can get to.